Hello everyone, in this video we will be talking about missing values. So missing data or missing values occur when you have not collected or have failed to store data for certain variables or participants. In real life, we encounter data sets with missing values quite frequently, and hence it becomes very important to detect and deal with it. In this video, we will see different ways of identifying missing values in the data. First, we'll start by loading the data. For that, we will first import pandas and give it an alias called PD. We will now create a data frame by loading a CSV file into it. We'll indicate that the first column will be the index. And to check the first 5 rows of the data set, we'll make use of the head function. So this is our data set. Now that we have loaded our data, we can start looking for missing values in it. It should be noted that whenever we are working with any data, the first step should always be to check for missing values. This can be done in many different ways, which we will be discussing now. One of the first ways is by making use of the info function. We write df.info and we get information about the data frame, like the number of entries, the maximum number of entries it has, the number of columns, there are total 14, and the name of the columns, the non-null count, and the data type. So the non-null count provides us with an inkling of the missing values. As you can see that age, sex, and cholesterol and FBS, all these columns are having 303 non-null values, but there are some columns called like for example CP, old peak, CA, which are having missing values, like they don't have the total 303 non-null values. It indicates that some data is missing in these columns. Another way to find out missing values is by making use of the describe function. We write df.describe. The describe function gives a statistical summary of the data frame. As you can see, it gives count, mean, standard deviation, minimum values, the percentile values, and the maximum values. So the count measure gives us the count of the non-null values in the respective columns. We can see that in age and sex, the count is 303, and in CP, the count is 300. So using this function as well, you can find that your data is containing missing values or not. Another way to find out missing values in the data frames is by making use of the isAny function. On calling this function, we get an indicator data frame in which the value of the cells is false when there is no missing value, but if there is any missing value in any cell, then the value is represented as true. To refine this result more, we can make use of the any function along with the isAny function like this. Is.any. This will give an indicator of all the columns. If the column is not having any null values, it will be marked as false. But if there is some missing value present in the column, then it will be marked as true. To refine it a bit more and to make it more analytical in nature, we can make use of the sum function along with the isAny function. To do this, we first call the isAny function on the data frame and then the sum function. So it gives us a number of missing values in each columns. So we can see that in age and sex column there are no missing values, but in CP and test BPs and THALEC and old speak there are respectively 3, 3, 2 and 4 values missing. Instead of isNA, we can also make use of the function called isNull. Both function do the same job. As you can see, if we call the isNull function, we again get an indicator data frame for the positions of missing values, and the same way we can define the result using the any function and the sum function. There is no difference in the working of the isNull and isNA function. This is because isNull is an alias for the isNA function. So practically these two functions are the same. It's just that their name is different. Now that we are able to find out the number of missing values per column, we can dig a little deeper by extracting all those rows in which a particular column is having a missing value. This can be done in the following way. Let's say we want to extract all those rows in which the value of the CP column is missing. So for that, what we can do is we'll subset the data frame in this manner using the isNA function. It gives us with 3 rows whose index are 2, 10 and 53, and as we can see, the CP column is having the missing values. We can do a similar thing with the old peak column. We can see that there are 4 rows with the missing values. Now, if you want to find out the index of all the rows for old peak which are having missing values, you can make use of the index function. This will provide you with an array of indices which are having the missing values for the old peak column. In this video, we have discussed a number of ways in which we can find missing values. Let's recapitulate. We use the info function, the describe function, the isNA function, isNA with any function, and with sum function. We also used the isNull function along with the any and sum function there. And then we learn to extract rows which are having missing values for a particular column and to find their index values. In this video, we learned how to detect missing values, and in the next video, we will be discussing that how we can treat or deal with missing values in a data frame. Thank you and have a nice day.